Today, on National Windrush Day, a victim of the scandal has told us how he was threatened with deportation, even though he'd lived in Nottingham legally for over 50 years. Roy Dyer was detained as he cared for his dying father. He's now been offered compensation after an expensive battle to prove he can live here. Our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball reports.
A traumatic fight to stay in the country that's been home since he was 8 years old. Roy went to school in Nottingham before working at the city's Plessy and Raleigh factories. But in 2012, a bolt from the blue, he was detained at Gatwick Airport, then lost his right to work and to use the NHS.
I felt like this wasn't my country anymore. My kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, they all live in Nottingham. I was totally helpless, couldn't eat. But don't forget, I wasn't entitled to no healthcare, so I couldn't go and see a doctor. I just felt worthless.
It happened because Roy moved here on his mum's British passport, but by the time he applied for his own one, Dominica was independent. And as Roy spent years caring for his mum and then his dying dad, he never expected to spend several months having to prove that he was here legally.
I had to get all the school records, kids' records. Them things don't exist anymore. I mean, I waited 6 months and they refused me residency with 40 years of national insurance stamp. Like, where do you get 40 years national stamp? You have to be in England to get that, don't you?
How frightening was it to be told that you might be deported to the Caribbean?
It was terrifying. It was constantly on my mind, you know, and you go to bed, you wake up. Well, I don't know, I wonder if those people are going to be coming for me.
That's what happened in this recent BBC drama that was based on another Windrush victim. Anthony Bryan was arrested at home and then held at a detention centre. Roy was detained 3 times, but he was always released after several hours.
I was in limbo, I was the same. I was in limbo myself. I didn't know what to do. Just worried all the time. I still get emotional, you know what I mean? I want to get tearful.
In March this year, an apology from the British government for the Windrush scandal.
I am truly sorry.
Roy's finally been given a British passport and offered compensation, but only after an expensive battle for UK citizenship.
I never received any apology. I haven't received a letter to say, oh, we're sorry about what happened to you, Mr. Dyer. Nobody apologised to me.
Roy's one of over 200 people in Nottingham who asked for help during the Windrush scandal. He's finally proved that he belongs here. But it's a battle that's taken its toll.
Well, Jeremy Ball is here. This was all very damaging, of course, but today the Windrush generation as a whole is being celebrated.
Yeah, lots of events, Dominic, to mark 72 years since over 1,000 Caribbean workers arrived here. Now, of course, these were people invited by the British government to help rebuild this country after World War II. Tonight, Nottingham's Council House is going to be lit up in green. Before that, speeches marking the contribution of Caribbean workers like Roy, people who worked in Nottingham's factories, people who worked in the NHS. And today an online book has also been unveiled in the city by the National Caribbean Heritage Museum.
70 objects and things celebrating the Caribbean contribution to the UK. So it embodies Caribbean traditions back in the islands that people brought with them in the 50s and then have refined over the 70 years we've been here.
And events happening in Leicester too?
Yeah, those all happening online because of the current restrictions. But you can see an exhibition about the Windrush generation and pictures of Leicester's Caribbean Carnival too. Lots of details about that on the City Council website. And in fact, today there, you can also watch some performances and a film all about the Windrush generation too.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed.